All right, Palace by Sam Smith. Beautiful song, some sort of gospel-influenced chord changes, and a beautiful melody. Not a complicated song by any stretch, so it's really all about the feeling and just articulating that melody. So it starts out quietly. Okay. I'm just gonna start just with the A to D, and this F sharp. It's actually F sharp minor 7. Just sort of setting the scene. So you want to play those nice and quietly. Just let them ring out. Okay, then the melody comes. And you really want to balance the melody itself with the bass notes. Sometimes you don't need the bass note at all. Sometimes you want to stop the bass note from ringing out. Other times you want it to be there. So just sort of follow closely the tab and, more than anything, the original song, and just try to match that. So here, so I'm starting it out before I involve the bass note. And I'm not doing any kind of chords here. Kind of set it up. I'm just doing melody and bass note. I'm doing a hammer on there. Again. Hammer on. Okay. And there I'm just trying to replicate the vocal line. Sort of quick. You don't need to do all that. You could do it like this. But to imitate the vocal line, I went like this. Is that pull offs and a hammer on? Or you can do it either way. Or then again the chords. Okay, now we're contrasting by adding some chord tunes. Okay, and here it's an E7. Okay, so trying to really fill that out in contrast to the first repetition through. And again these chords, setting up the chorus. Okay, and this is a suspension. It's really an E7 suspended. You want to keep that top melody note really standing out. Until you hit the second chord. And this chord is really tough. This voicing here, it's hard to do. What I'm actually doing is I'm covering with my index finger on the 3rd fret of the D string, covering that F with the tip of my finger, and then I'm hitting the C sharp on the B string with the inside knuckle. It's hard to do, and I probably wasn't very consistent even in the video with hitting that. The most important thing are these 3 notes. It's basically, your middle, your index there, your ring, and your pinky. And you can play that, but if you can get in this note too, it's nice to really fill out the chord. Okay, so again, those are the most important notes. Okay, and then going up a bit, forming this E7. It's sort of a partial E7. You're not playing the 3rd, but okay. And this 7, C sharp 7, and then the big F sharp minor. And there you want to make sure that open string rings out. Now this here is the C sharp 7, but it's actually a 7 sharp 9, which is a pretty dissonant chord if you really let it ring out. So I chose not to play the 3rd. Instead I'm just playing the root, the 7, and the sharp 9. So again. I'm doing that, just sliding that vocal melody. I could play it here, but I like sliding it here. I like playing it up here so I can slide. Okay, and here I chose to add a backbeat. It's not in the original song, but I thought it needed a bit of lift. So at the very end of the chorus, so, or either way. Okay, like that. Okay. Now before I jump up an octave, I'm playing the E just for a second. It's a bit of an anticipation. The E right after I do the backbeat. Or rather right before. Okay, and kind of like the first verse, I'm focusing on melody and bass notes here. And then the next repetition, I'll be adding chord tones. So here it's really about just the melody, the single note melody, and the bass line. Okay. I'm adding a few chord tones, but not too much. And now I'm here. Here I'm really adding the chords. Okay. Can you hear that difference? Where now I'm adding fuller chord tones. Again, those chords down here. Now the chorus again, same thing, but now with the backbeat. And here I'm hopping up an octave to sort of set up the solo or the bridge. Okay, now here this is a 7 sharp 9 again. Very dissonant if you hit all the notes, so I'm sort of hitting it very minimally. So just like that. Okay, this is kind of a tough chord change here over the F sharp minor. This is really the melody note. You just want really the bass note there and the melody. But I'm adding some chord tones. If you want to throw that in there, you can. If not, the most important thing is just. Now here's where the piano comes in. It's sort of a soul break here, solo or a bridge. So to sort of get the piano feel, I'm using pretty full chords after this. So those hammer-ons with a backbeat on the second, and then we're starting to strum. So again, sort of implying the piano with the big chords. Hitting all 6 strings. With a D, of course, just 4. Okay, this little build up I'm doing. So I'm basically hitting treble strings, then twice on the bass strings. In a nutshell, it's what I'm doing in these triplets. And into the chorus. Strumming now. I'm playing a full E7, different voicing than the first time, just so I can hit all 6 strings. Okay, now going up an octave. again, hitting the dissonant 7 sharp 9 just for a second. Okay, it's pretty hard to hit those strings and keep that melody going, but that's the priority here. Okay, and the very end of the tune, just repeating that last bit very quietly now. And it adds a D minor, actually a D minor 6 here. Big stretch, but I think important. Okay, as always, let me know if you have any questions. Have fun with this tune.